seen the ladies that come to BaldieCon? BaldieCon is like the fashion show, it is the it for us. BaldieCon, you can go over the top, okay? It's like Met Gala meets prom.
Hey, it's your girl Nancy Red, and this is season 4 of Mompreneurs, where we celebrate beautiful Black entrepreneurs who are also amazing moms. Now, every week I'm chatting with my guests about how they are killing it simultaneously as a business mogul and a mom, and we're listening to their inspiring journeys and incredible advice. Today, I'm so excited to welcome Felicia Flores. She's an alopecia warrior, a motivational speaker, beauty philanthropist, and founder of BaldieCon. And that's perhaps her most powerful role. We're going into 5 years of BaldieCon. This year, we're going to have Road to BaldieCon. It is a groundbreaking nonprofit and annual conference that empowers women and children living bald due to alopecia and other conditions. Felicia, I'm so excited to chat with you today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Nancy. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Because, one of the things about being a mompreneur, turning lemons into lemonade, that is the ultimate goal. You took things that were going out of control in your life and you're making money off of it. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Road is not easy, but it's very, very rewarding.
It's very rewarding because it's an issue that so many of us are dealing with. But before we get too far into the business side, I want to get a little personal. Talk to us about your family. Who puts the mom in your mompreneur?
Who puts the mom in my mompreneur would have to be my own mother. She is Jamaican born and just instilled in us hard work, focusing, and just getting the job done by any means necessary, And so I just learned and got that strength from her. So that's what kind of pulls me through.
You have an adult daughter and a tween son, right?
Yeah, so my daughter is 25 and then I have a 12-year-old. And so I know a gap, right? But that's what she asked for her birthday, and by golly, she got it.
Wait, she asked for her birthday for you to have another baby?
Brother and sister, and it was just like, oh yeah, right, okay, whatever. And then, whoop, there it is. Her little brother came along, so it's just definitely a joy having, my daughter and my son, and just two different times, and raising them in two kind of different ways. Just kind of like go along with the times that we're in right now. So it's definitely, it's rewarding. It's challenging, but it's also rewarding as well.
I love that. And I love your daughter for encouraging you to complete your family, because you also, one of the paths to BaldieCon, one of the paths to becoming the woman and mother you are, is you have an angel daughter.
Yes, I do. So I have them tattooed on my neck. So it's Cameron, Drew, and Parker. So Drew is my middle, and she passed away shortly after, I want to say in 4 months, of having like a rare disease called HLH, was like hemophagocytic lymphocytosis, something of that nature, but it's that long. And that happened, and it was just so sudden. My daughter was 4 at the time. And it took a huge toll on me. It took a huge toll on my hair, because that's when my hair completely fell out. And I never really talk about it because it gets so emotional, because, when you lose a child, it's never, it's not something that you learn how to manage the pain and the hurt. But it's always on your mind, or it comes up in certain things that you may see, like a family or a child playing, and it takes you back. So definitely over the years, I had to deal and learn how to cope with that, and then having another child afterwards. I definitely clinged on to my son more than ever because of that whole situation, and also having to deal with my daughter dealing with loss and how that has affected her growing up. It's just so much to it. So I'm grateful to God, though, that we're managing and we pulled through, and some beautiful things have blossomed from that moment of me losing my hair because of that traumatic experience. Like everything, all my hair just literally fell out when that happened, and it just never grew back. And I just decided to turn my pain into something positive.
Well, you have done that, and I'm very sorry for your loss, but I'm also very proud of you because no one knows what anybody's going through, and I know what it's like to walk through life. Like right now, I'm going through something, and no one ever realized. Like inside, I'm kind of a zombie. I'm trying to make it, and my hair has not fallen out, but other things have fallen apart. And trying to deal with that privately is difficult. But for you, you were simultaneously grieving, and your crown just went away. You'd always had noticed hair loss a little bit after the birth of your first daughter,
Right.
but then with your grieving process, with your with that came just this big painful moment. How was it like in the beginning when you were starting to realize that this was not just temporary, this was a permanent issue that you were going to have to incorporate into your life?
Well, funny thing is, when it first initially happened, because I was going through the loss of my daughter, the hair meant nothing to me. Like, so my hair was coming out in clumps. I'll never forget the day. It must have been like after we had the burial. I want to say maybe like a week or two afterwards. You know, friends would just come over and they would just rotate, and I was taking out the weave, and when they were taken out, they were like, oh my gosh, Felicia, your hair is just coming out in clumps. I mean, I had cornrows with my own hair. And although after my birth of my daughter, I want to say like a year later, I was experiencing like a spot here or a spot there, but it would grow back, but nothing to the extent of what was occurring at the time when my child passed. And they were crying. Like my friends were in tears. And I was just numb. Like you, going back to what you said, you're like a zombie inside. So nothing mattered. I didn't even care about the hair. I was just like, why you guys crying? Just give me a wig. I gotta go. Just give me a wig. And literally I went through the rest of my life that way, as far as I don't want to feel this emotion, whatever, slap a wig on it. And I got to go. I got to move on. I got to work. I have to take my mind off of things. I have to, you know what I mean? I have another.
You have a daughter, you got bills. And that's the thing about grief. That's the thing about loss. That's the thing about whatever. Life does not stop.
And also, that's the thing that people don't understand, is that especially when you're a woman and you're in a single parent household, and I don't make any excuses for the situation that I am in. It's more so like I'm the head of household. I have to keep it moving. I have to work. I got to pay these bills, and that is it. Like I don't have time to stop and grieve. I have to keep going. And so that's what it has been. And I think as women, when we get into this role, especially as moms, you know, sometimes it starts and stops with us, right? And if we stop working, or if the ship is sinking, right, because of us, the whole ship goes down, you know. So you have that kind of pressure on you. So it's literally like I had to work, and grieving took a back burner. I had to put grieving on the back burner because I had to take care of my child. I had to go to work. Okay, they're not going to pay you. It's not like disability where you can get paid time off. Like, okay, if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid. So I had to go back to work, and I had to literally, in a sense, function in this new norm of just having to grieve a child, raise a child, and having to work to pay bills to survive. It was a lot. It's a lot.
Over time, it doesn't fully heal, but you become more used to managing it. So over time, you accepted what happened. You tried different wigs, you tried different treatments, and that took a toll too. Even covering it up is one thing, trying to deal with it is a whole other thing.
Just getting tired of when I did finally decide to take care of it and see what was going on, I was finally diagnosed that I had alopecia, and I said, okay, let's try some treatments, right? And the treatments that they suggested, or that I went through, was not only topical treatments that kind of changed my skin. It actually removed the melanin. It just removed my skin color. So my hair was just grows gray in that area, or was growing gray before I took off the wig and sunlight can hit it. But literally it was like a gray white patch, and that was the only place that hair would grow. But the salicylic acid that they prescribed to me, it changed my skin to like an albino. So dealing with that, then having to get like cortisone shots, which are painful. You can't be numbed. So there was constant sticking, in my head, bleeding. It was just, I was done. I was done. And it came to a point where it was like, this cannot be the only way. Like, I have to be able to accept the fact that I have alopecia, my hair may not grow back. How do I make myself feel good about where I am and in this society, and how I'm viewed, and going through, you know, the motions of life, and being okay with myself and understanding that, hey, I'm bald and I don't have any hair. And that's when all of that took into effect, and that was kind of like the birth of BaldieCon.
I love it because, you know, in so many ways, it's the type of thing you try to hide it under wigs, and the painful shots, the lack of melanin, all of this. At some point, you're just like, I just got to take the mask off. I just got to keep it moving, and I just have to embrace this new me who is trying to move forward for myself and for my family. What was that moment like when you just said, you know what, I am removing this wig, I am embracing this, and I'm not only going to do this for myself, I'm going to be a role model for other people going through this, because it feels so lonely. It feels so like, why is this happening to me? And you realize this is happening to a lot of people.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things, I would follow this group. I was following this called the Baldy movement, because I didn't even know those other people were going through what I was going through. And I found a group on Facebook. It was founded by Nell Coleman, and I joined the Facebook group, and I just saw like there's other women who were going through what I was going through. Now, initially, I did not have the confidence. Like, honestly, I want to say that it was like anxiety attacks. Like, you know, but I felt like I was in a point in my life where I was trying to date, and I was tired of hiding behind the wigs. It was cumbersome. I couldn't do a lot of things. I didn't swim. I didn't do roller coasters. I didn't do a lot of things because the wig was affecting me from doing it. Wasn't fancy like it is now. You know, back then it was like, hey, it could slip off. It wasn't much security. So I was just like, I found a group of ladies who inspired me. And when I finally took that wig off and was able to accept me for me and realize that I wasn't alone in that, which was the most important thing. I saw other people, ladies, that were doing it. It totally changed for me. Totally changed. And that's when I said, I can do this. I could do this.
What did your daughter say as she saw you transforming before her eyes from someone who couldn't go on roller coasters with her, who couldn't get in the water with her, to just being proud of who you are?
Oh, she was so happy. As a matter of fact, she was the one who forced me. I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day, they had this Don't Judge Me challenges. This was like after challenges were a thing that just started. So it was this Don't Judge Me challenge, where somebody would come on with their face all crazy, and then boom, they reveal themselves. And my daughter and her friend made a suggestion like, hey, Mom, this will be the perfect opportunity for you to come out and do this. And I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I should do this. No, Mom, this is great. You need to do it. You know, and when I did it and I got the response that I got, it was overwhelming. But you know, a lot of people my parents didn't even know I was bald. They had no idea. Like, that's how much of a secret. No, they did not know. They had no idea. Most people did not know I was bald. Because I used to wear like a short wig that was tapered, so it kind of looked natural. I mean, to me, but no one else noticed. Yeah, my parents.
But also, many of us wear wigs as protective. Most of us have more hair under the wig than the wig. So,
well, now it's good. Now it's becoming more accepted, and the new, because of, you know, the way technology is and the new wigs that are out there and the creativity. Now it's a thing. But back then, it was like, what? You had a wig? And I remember that I did that challenge, and the overwhelming response. And my mom calls me up, and in true Jamaican fashion, why would you do something? You didn't even tell us. They're calling me. They think you have cancer. You're gonna die. That's how.
Okay, that is not what you needed. That was not. She meant well. She meant well.
She meant well. But you know, that's how Caribbean parents do. Or some parents are just like, why did you not tell me? They're calling me. They're asking me, are you sick? And you sick? And so that was one of the things, is that people didn't know what alopecia was, or they would assume it with cancer, because that's what you normally see. Alopecia wasn't actually that, you know, widespread as far as knowledge is concerned. So that was something that I had to start explaining to what the disease, what the condition was, and it's not contagious. I'm not gonna die or anything like that. But definitely because of my daughter, she really pushed me out there, and she feels so good about it. She's like, "Mom, you are living in your element. Like, you don't need that wig. As a matter of fact, you look crazy with the wig on. I can't even picture you with the wig on." So she absolutely loves it. And my son, he's 12 now, but he's so okay with that, which meant a lot to me because with the bullying with kids, I didn't want him to get bullied because his mom didn't have any hair. And so me talking to him and him understanding the condition, he can also explain it to his friends, and it's just been a positive experience since.
And it's so positive that you went from being afraid and terrified to your daughter inspiring you, not just to come out as an individual who has alopecia, but also to become an advocate, not just telling your kids how to explain it, but you going out there. How did you go from just being someone in a supportive balding community to being someone creating her own community to support people who are bald?
That's a great question. So what I did was, it was also new to me, and I was still having my challenges. I was very self-conscious, my confidence level.
Yes, because the road to success, the road to being okay is never just straight. You're always going to have some setbacks, and you're being brave even when inside you're freaking out. Like you're out here brave, but inside you're still like, oh my God, I am out here in these streets.
Yes, and I still have those moments. So me meeting that group, I started to do work within the community. You know what I mean? Going to different Baldy events, meeting other Baldies, hosting things, and just to kind of talk to them about their journey and their feedback. And just all throughout their strength and their stories, I'm like, people need to hear this. People need to know that they're not alone. And we need something to celebrate this bravery that we're going through. Not to just that, to also combat bullying, which still happens no matter what age you are, or the stereotypes or the lack of empathy. That still was missing. And that's when I said, I need something for all of us to come to, so we can get information, we can empower each other, we can learn, and we could just build a strong community that can lean on each other. So that's how BaldieCon came about.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk. So we are going into our 5th year of BaldieCon. But when did you originally have the idea, and how did it evolve from a conference to a whole nonprofit?
I first started in 2022. That was the first BaldieCon. Now, I didn't have funding, right? So it's something that's new, and trying to get the word out there. I just knew that I had to put on something that was, the quality was well. It may not be big, small, but it would be impactful. And so that was year 2022. We did it at Grits and Eggs at a restaurant. But before that, BaldieCon was in the making from 2019. And I knew that this would be big. So the first thing I did was I actually trademarked. So I actually trademarked BaldieCon and Bald and Free, just to make sure that I want to build something strong and have a strong foundation. And I knew in my mind, like, this could be big. You see all these Comic-Cons and Dragon Cons and all these different conferences. I'm like, why can't we have something super successful for us Baldies to come together?
I love that. And also I love that you started your foundation with the trademark and the protection, yes. Because there's nothing worse than getting down the road, building your image, building your brand, and then getting hit with a lawsuit saying that it's infringing on someone else's trademark. And you've done all this work and you have to start over. It ruins a lot of businesses. So congratulations. How did you know to begin with a strong foundation of IP?
Just watching other business mogul women who just talked about their experiences and what they would have done differently and if they would have known. And I'm very, life is all about learning. I'm never in a position not to learn. I'm always yearning to learn more and where I can be better. So that's why I appreciate podcasts like this, because it's just so informational and so people can take away from it. So that was one of my major things, is that I just wanted to make sure that we had a strong foundation, and then moving forward, it starts off small and then it just literally continued growing and growing and growing. But you just have to still go, because there's a lot, like I said, it's grassroots, so it was self-funded. Like, I depleted everything. I depleted my savings. I depleted like everything.
Your bank account was bald.
Bald.
But you have to do it. But you had motivation to get it going. You grew and you grew, and the word got out.
Yes.
And now here we are in the 5th year.
5th year. Yes. That's what I'm saying, is, don't stop, because it's not an easy road. And that's why I appreciate. So my publicist is Carlos Scott. And
yay.
And I was reaching out to people and with the idea. And so people were like, oh, okay, it wasn't really, but I picked up the phone, I called Carlos, and I'm pitching the idea, and he's like, I love it. He's like, but I'm going to be very honest with you. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything like that, but you're going to have to front load this financially until you can build something to where companies will be able to buy into it or to the vision. He said, so essentially what I'm saying is if you build it, they will come. And that's really what that's what we've been doing, just constantly building. And just to see over the years the fruition of it coming through, we're going to year 5, a bigger location. We've outgrown the JW Marriott. It is just, we're going to be at the Westin Buckhead this year. And just to see the growth of it, just by being steadfast and just continuing the mission and not giving up and not stopping just because something adversely happened or something negative happened. Like, you just literally have to keep a ton of vision, because it's going to come at you. It's not an easy road. And especially when it's self-funded, a lot happens and a lot is riding on you. But now we're seeing the fruits of that happen, and the ladies couldn't be more excited about it. They're just grateful for the platform and the opportunity to come and see other baldies that they would never have been in a room with that many baldies before. It's like, Atlanta is the baldy takeover. Okay, we takes over Atlanta. So that last weekend in September, it's BaldieCon weekend. Okay, and you can tell by the video.
Hairdressers, just go on vacation. You are not needed in that week. And I think that's really great. And this year's really cool because each year you grew. The first year, rough struggle. Now here we are 5 years later. Not only do you have BaldieCon, you also have the road to BaldieCon. And I think you and Carlos have come up with a really good map on how to grow it so that it's sustainable. So you outgrew the JW, now you're at the Westin. This year, to get the word out, to build more hype, what are you doing differently with little mini BaldieCons along the way to the big one in Buckhead?
Yes, we are so excited. So we get a lot of feedback because we do want to hear from the people. And one of those ones where, hey, can you come visit? And can you come here? Can you visit us here? And we don't want to take away from the fact that BaldieCon is essentially the essence of the Baldy community, okay? You already know that the Essence Festival is that July 4th weekend every year in New Orleans. Look, BaldieCon, the big one, will always be in Atlanta the last weekend in September. But for the road to BaldieCon 2026, celebrating 5 years, we're going to be visiting 5 cities. That's right, 5 cities. And we're going to be coming out and doing a little mini meetup and have some wonderful, wonderful treats and surprises for the ladies. So we're excited about that. We're really excited about that. And we're going to give an opportunity for people around the country to experience a little bit of BaldieCon. And then, hey, guess what? Get ready to celebrate with us at our 5 years in Atlanta. We're building up to the big one. So this is a project that we are just so excited about.
And it just also goes on with, because we're not just talking about a conference here. You are actually a nonprofit, which is a whole can of worms. Any person who comes on here and talks about them being a nonprofit, I know you're serious, because that paperwork is not easy. And it is constant. You have to be on the up and up if you are an actual 501c3. And so with BaldieCon, you have the umbrella BaldieCon Inc. And it's not just the conference, right? It's not just the road to BaldieCon. You provide resources, referrals, mental health counseling, and grants for women and children with hair loss, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So that's one of the beauties about BaldieCon. We are a nonprofit. So in conjunction with the conference, we also have a program with our youth that we're doing to where we can go into the schools and kind of meet up with a child who is going, like I said, through alopecia, going through cancer treatment, hair loss of any kind. What we partner up with the school administration, the counselors, kind of talk with them, talk with the child. And what we do is we come in as an advocate and we do like a little presentation with the child's class and their counselors on hand, just to kind of educate the kids on what their hair loss condition may be a result of, letting them know, hey, it's not contagious, or also teaching them how to be empathetic towards differences and to prevent bullying. So that's one of our true passion projects that fuels, not to mention kids who are less fortunate that could come to the conference as well, and other different programs like resources for them. So this is truly, it's a full circle moment where we are just wanting to provide services for those baldies that are in need.
I love it, because what do you really want people to walk away from the event, from these experiences with? Because one of the things about when things get stripped away, when your veneer gets eroded, you're just left with yourself. And sometimes that person has a lot of healing to do, whether it's from childhood, from adult issues, from mistakes you feel like you've made. I call them lessons learned. What do you hope that the people who come to BaldieCon, what do you hope they walk away with in terms of how they see themselves and the fact that they may not have hair, but they have so much more?
So much more, absolutely. When attendees come to BaldieCon, I want them to come away with a feeling of purpose. I want them to know that they're special and not to forget who they are, whatever their passion is, if they're into fashion, if they're into music or whatever, not to let them not having any hair, don't let that stop them. And to the young ones who are coming up, who are bald, that you could be anything that you want to be. We had doctors there, we have artists, we have filmmakers, lawyers, just models, TV broadcasters. Like, we had so many people there that they could look up to and say, hey, hair doesn't define me and hair doesn't have to limit me as well. And so BaldieCon creates this safe space for them to feel comfortable in themselves. But not only that, we are very transparent, and we do want to let them know, like, while BaldieCon is a safe space for you, when you get out there, it's not such a safe space, right? So we want to give them the tools to be able to manage that, manage any kind of adverse reactions or non-empathetic thoughts. We want to combat that, and by them coming to BaldieCon, their confidence is raised, and they know that they can conquer the world.
There's strength in numbers. And, look, many beauty norms are tied to hair, especially for Black women. It's a whole thing: professionalism, attractiveness, and just being told that you're beautiful. It's like a whole different can of worms. Like, how, in your words, does being bald, whether it's by choice or necessity, challenge and expand what society defines as beautiful? Because the more we expand it, the better off. And I think if we start with that positive framework, which is what you do, the better off we all will be.
Have you seen the ladies that come to BaldieCon? BaldieCon is like the fashion show, it is the it for us. And these women are so beautiful. They pull out their best for the whole weekend. I always say, look, our Baldy Ball, which is one of our huge events at BaldieCon, which is a black tie affair, formal gown. When they come in, they're absolutely stunning, okay? And I said, there's no such thing as too much. BaldieCon, you could go over the top, okay? It's like Met Gala meets prom, okay? But when you see the look on these ladies' faces, and you just see the pride that they're taking, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Look, L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, Fenty, you need to contact some of these ladies who come to BaldieCons because they're absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. And that's how we do it. We have to show the world how we come up as, and we're just as beautiful as someone else with hair. Okay, we deserve to stand on those same platforms and show our beauty as well. So having BaldieCon and setting the stage and having the world see and putting these ladies on a world stage to show their beauty is one of the ways that we help, and we hope to change society's norms of what beauty actually should, quote unquote, look like, and introduce them to something new and refreshing and just pure beauty. And there's beauty in being bald. How about that?
Absolutely. I love that. It is so true, because here's the thing. Fashion, jewelry, style, it all plays into your self-expression. It's funny because, I now am wearing my glasses more. And as you know, for the longest time, I was like, glasses, no! And it's just like, look, I now need progressives. Contacts are uncomfortable. Right. I'm just wearing these glasses. Y'all just gonna have to take this as it is. Exactly. But you have fun figuring out the fun glasses. I reached out to another mompreneur, like Rachel Martin, and she's an incredible psychiatrist. And I was just like, where do you get your glasses? We just tit and tat, and we go back and forth, and we help each other feel good about ourselves. And that's one of the fun things at BaldieCon. It's like, girl, what sunscreen do you use? Girl, what fashion have you worn? Where'd you get those earrings? Is it also just an opportunity to share tips and tricks and little inside ideas from people who totally get your parameters of beauty?
The whole conference, shouts out to Lamique Beauty, who has been our beauty sponsor since the beginning. I love her, Kim Roxy. Just transforming their faces with different, techniques with the brows and makeup placements and so forth. We had that going on. If people decided to do wigs, like how to place them on. Also, we this year we had our beauty. Our dating and relationships, how to cope with dating while being bald. We also had our fashion show. So there's different. We like to tackle, each concern that baldies may have. We like to tackle those topics and really give them something tangible to walk away with.
What is your advice for people watching this who want to take the wig off, or they want to figure out their glamour and beauty with their actual natural body? What is your advice for dating for women who are balding or bald?
Well, I will say this. I, for years, have developed, when I was wearing a wig, developed like this defense mechanism of not being able to tell someone I was dating that I was bald in fear of rejection. So basically, he will have to say, I love you first for me to say, oh, you love me? Well, let me tell you something too. Yeah, and then that's when I would let them know that I was bald. And the funny thing is, we had a couple on there last year on our dating relationships, and he said, look, when I met my wife, I loved her, but I didn't know she was bald. And he said that he would have liked to have the chance to know that ahead of time. And I could understand definitely where he's coming from. And one of the things with me and dating, it was like having no hair was like, that was it. What you see is what you get. And this was the only thing I was hiding. So let me just go ahead and be myself. So moving forward with dating, I think that you should just be yourself. You know what I mean? Your personality should precede you. You know what I mean? Hair has nothing to do with it. And guess what? Either they like it, or they don't. You know what I mean? It's okay. I'd rather you not waste my time. You know what I mean? If this is not something that you want, versus you meeting me in my element and this is what you are okay, that you are okay with. And a lot of women and young adults as well have that, and men have that same dating struggle, because there are men too as well that don't necessarily want to be bald. They have alopecia and they wish they had hair. So I don't want to necessarily exclude them. But for women to be bald is, let's say taboo, but it's not the norm.
And the people who come to BaldieCon run the gamut, from just beginning their journey, just like you were when you first started with the support group, to people like you who just been in these streets and are comfortable and confident and totally understand it. A lot of our listeners might be somewhere in this spectrum. hundreds of thousands of people suffer hair loss every single year. So this is something that is extremely common, and often it is because of a stress-related issue. Sometimes it's just because of some kind of autoimmune disorder. Other times there is no reason. People just lose their hair. So if someone listening today is just starting to lose their hair and is terrified of the journey ahead, what do you want to say to them?
I want to tell them that they're not alone. Whatever phase that they are not alone. And to get with the community, whether it be BaldieCon or other Baldy groups out there, get with a community that can help you overcome some of your questions, your challenges. Like we're such a loving community to where we want to support each other. There's support. There's a support system for you. There's a village for you, and just know that it gets better. But I want them to feel like I love myself how I am. Like, will you be okay if this hair never grows back? You know, that's what we're here for. But whatever phase you are, find a group and just literally lock in and ask whatever questions that you need, any advice. We're here for you. And once again, come to BaldieCon, because you don't have to be completely bald to come. So you can learn so much from coming to the conference as well. But once again, get with the village, because the village is where we're here for you.
I love that. Okay, I can't let you leave without participating in my favorite segment called Mompreneurs Manifestation. I always ask each of my guests what you're trying to make happen and how we can help bring it into the universe for you.
I would like for year 5 to be just super successful. I want a broader reach. I just want to reach all the baldies or anyone who's going through hair loss in the beginning stages, middle phases, not sure you still have a wig. It is okay. I want you to come and experience what BaldieCon is about community. It's about education and building, and just it's a community of love. And once again, we're a nonprofit organization. So any donation that is needed definitely helps towards the cause and in helping our community. Once again, it is greatly appreciated. So that's one of my.
Come to the road to BaldieCon. Yeah. 5 cities.
5 cities.
We're accumulating in the Westin.
Absolutely, at the Westin. And look, for tickets, you can just go to BaldieCon.com. You can look up our past years, past conferences, ticket information. We have early bird tickets and now payment plans. It's just a beautiful, fabulous 4-day weekend that is going to be absolutely incredible. You don't want to miss it. Look, we want to see you there. We know how to party.
And also, you're not just, like you say, you're not just once a year. All year long, you are on social media, inspiring and sharing stories. Talk to us where people can find you on Instagram, YouTube, wherever they may find you. And BaldieCon.
On all social media platforms, you can follow us at BaldieCon, BaldieCon, BaldieCon. And my personal one is Bald and Free. So check me out, follow me, I follow back. And I just look forward to connecting and just making this world a better place, a more inclusive place, and that's what we're here for.
Well, that's what you're doing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It has been a pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much.
And thanks to all of you for listening to and watching Mompreneurs. As a reminder, a brand new episode goes live every Monday on Urban One Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit urban1podcast.com to learn more. That's urban1podcast.com.